Aloha! Here we are, another beautiful day. And you see my new Mickey Mouse hat I got from Disney World. And it is a very beautiful day here, a little windy, but today I wanted to say some things about being authentic. And sadly, so many of us, we are so lost on top of the layers or under the layers of expectations or fear or whatever the case is. And when we are like that, it's very, very hard to become who you love. It's possible, but it's way, way more difficult. So how is this inspiration actually happening right now? Is because yesterday I picked up another book which actually I got like several months ago. But you know how life is, sometimes these books just like kind of stay somewhere until you pick them up again. And this one is about Akashic records. And I started to read about it, and there was a sentence that many of the people who are actually representing or are somewhat more connected to Akashic records, or their mission is connected to that. You may even have it actually hiding in your name. And many of you may know that my middle name is Ra. So, and when you say Akashic records, A-R, when you turn it the other way, it's R-A. So, wow, how cool, right? So, the authentic journey. Let's get to that. So, you can see beautiful morning here. So, when I moved to United States in 2017 to Hawaii, out of all the places, to Big Island, one of my favorite places on this planet, favorite places in United States so far. I haven't seen all of the states, but so far. And I call Hawaii my spiritual home. Despite that Hawaii is very spiritually inclined and there's lots of openness to that, it was so hard to make happen my authentic self showing and starting to do my work there. So firstly, it was because I had my green card in a process. And as your green card is in the process the first time, you're not allowed to work. So the only thing I did was to keep my Estonia business stuff going. Other than that, it was all, you know, kind of on pause. And as this was happening, I was trying to figure out other ways. How could I start to fully share my spiritual knowledge and all of my energy healing and so on? And whatever I tried, it didn't work. So it was just so weird, because every time I visited Hawaii, everything was flowing and magical, and now as I was living there, it was a totally different energy. And it was very, very hard to stay connected. And so I want you to see this, talking about authenticity. So this is the piece of a sand dollar, which is showing the universe's message. When you are authentic, abundance is coming your way. It's a pretty big piece, very rare to find one like that here usually. So I was trying to do things and so on, and it seemed also for many people who came to visit or stayed like in Hawaii as snowbirds, many of them even though they were spiritual, they couldn't understand my spiritual language, or what I was talking about. So what I did was I started to adjust and almost like cut the corners. Okay, so what is it everyone here, or most people here in the United States, are struggling? What's the number one pain? And doing research, it said weight loss. People are so overweight, struggling. So let's find out a program which would teach weight loss, do it myself, and become like a good example how this is. So some years later, we already lived in San Diego by then. I found that program and I did it. I let go quite a bit of weight. If I remember, first it was like around, somewhere 20 pounds, 9 kilos, 90 days, which is pretty good and slow, steady, healthy way to let go of weight. And then I started to do this. But what was funny that it was also almost impossible to find people from United States. All of my clients, or most of my clients, were all from other countries, even Canada and so on, and mostly Estonia as well. So what I did was I adjusted myself according to the environment where I was, which is per se is not wrong, but it's not maybe the smartest way. You kind of like go around, even though you can go direct. And because I didn't believe I could go direct, so I went around. So yeah, and for 2 years I did group coaching in that particular program, which went really well. People got amazing results, not only letting go extra weight, but also starting to live their dream lives, because now they have more energy and they have more focus and so on. But I wasn't still fully living my authentic self. So now as I'm reading this Akashic record stuff, many of the things which I read there are very familiar to me, and I think subconsciously or in a different way I've actually already done it. Not maybe directly like they say you should do it, but I have very, very good connection to spirit and all the channels and information. So yeah, so I'll go through the book and do their assignments and exercises, and then I'll keep you in the loop. It's probably later it's good to do like a little program or class about it as well, so kind of add it to my portfolio. And it's a very exciting way to access information. So they say it's the information connected to you. It's like a library. Your past, your present, your future is all there. And then you have record keepers who are protecting your information, and then you can access this when you ask questions. And everyone can do it, but sometimes we may need guides to get it going. So that's where the Akashic record readings can come in. And now you may say, like, Crystal, isn't it like already enough? You do numerology, you do aura upgrading, you do energy readings, and mermaid divination, tarot, all kinds of like other stuff you're doing. Why do you need more? I don't need more, but in order to serve authentically the people who need my support or my services, that's one of the ways to do it. So, and why it is so sad to see when people are not authentic and they kind of like, you know, cut their corners and become someone they are actually not, because it's doing a disservice for you, it's doing disservice for everyone you could serve, and it's just so sad when that happens. So think of now your life, how authentic you are. Like, I remember when I used to do still the online dating, I cut lots of corners in order to be liked by different men. But what happens then is that you attract wrong men. You attract the men who actually don't know who the authentic you is. And I did it for several years. I was almost like addicted to online dating. And then I quit. I unplugged and I said, okay, I am authentic me. And as I was in the past secretly married to someone who was afraid to present me and my spirituality to his parents, I was like, I'm done with that crap. I am attracting a person who loves my spirituality, loves all the weirdness I am, my weird accent and weird background and all of it, even my extra pounds. So, and that's what I did, and I attracted that person in the physical world. So no online dating. And I think that's the most strongest and most powerful way to do it, because then you'll definitely attract like a true person. Even though I know many people have also been lucky and found their love through online dating, it's still possible. Yeah, so also if you are still doing also online dating, it's just kind of a good question for you. Are you doing this totally authentically, or are you also cutting the corners? So one of the ladies I'm like following recently, she had a similar experience, and then she kind of made like a very crazy raw online dating profile where she said everything bluntly out. I can read energies, I'm connected to galactic council, whatever the case was. And of course there were people who were like kind of laughing about it, but then she actually attracted her divine partner, because he was so attracted that someone could be so bold and so activated and so not afraid, and shared her authenticity. So very cool. Yeah, so think about that. And as you are diving deeper into this, is also one other thing I've been contemplating is how our ego is sometimes stopping us to be the authentic self and also messing things up. So there is one other guy I follow online, and he's like podcast and so on, and every time I listen to this I get so annoyed, because even though the podcast is about someone else, he tries to perform and share his knowledge and kind of almost like compete with the person who is there to talk and be interviewed. And this is one of the things which can stop your, or at least block your authentic self to fully express herself. So, and why this is happening is that there is definitely something in the past where that part of the self needs more attention. And then there is another guy who I've been following for a very long time, since we started to go to Brendon Burchard's events, and I've been always so like admiring his approach, because he's just so humble. There is zero ego, and he's just so like humbly curious about the person. And even when he's saying something, there is nothing which is connected to like, ooh, look at me, like I'm the best kind of thing, you know. And that's so attractive. And when I observed this little element, I was like, okay, so when I did my podcast, how was that? And I think at that time, so now it's actually 2 years ago, I stopped it. So it's been a long break. And I was on that ego side more than the humble side. And that may also happen when we have so much to give and share, and we don't have enough proper channels to share our gifts and you know, talents. And when we don't have it, then what happens is it starts to almost aggressively find a way to express itself, and then that's very repelling, and that's not helping us to become more who we are. So look at that aspect as well in your becoming who you love, because that love and that ego element in there can be also quite a thing. So, and just acknowledging that part of you, like, I am so sorry you haven't got enough attention or possibilities to shine or being acknowledged. And instead of like looking for the outside knowledge, kind of see how can you get that knowledge and get that acknowledgement from the inside, so to say. Give it to yourself through your divine inner family archetypes. So how can your inner woman do that, inner child and inner man? And once you figure that out, it's going to be amazing. Because also one other thing connected to the ego stuff can be the lack illusion, or yeah, when you are hungry for money and hungry for attention, hungry for acknowledgement. So when you have that, it starts to express itself in everything you do. And even if you manage to mask it really well with words or like whatever else you are doing, people will feel the energy. So becoming who you love is connected to being in abundance. Understanding also your authenticity is helping you to fully become abundant. You are already abundant, but like, you know, acknowledge yourself. I am abundant. Like this ocean, there's lots of water. Over 70% of the planet is water. You go in, this is abundance. And the same in you. You are also over 70% water. So now tapping into that abundance is activating more of that relaxed and full energy, which is starting to activate your attractive code, so that you will attract more of who you want to become. And then also people will notice it because they just see it. So yeah, so that was the impulse for today. And we have one more day in this free access, so everyone who is here, you are grandfathered in and you can enjoy it. And if you have anyone else who could really enjoy it, please invite them as well. I have to answer the questions, but then they can join, they can go back and take the time to get to know their divine feminine, which is the key, one of the number one keys to become more of who you are. So let me know if you watch this as a replay under the video. If you have any questions, comments, highlights. Yeah, and if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, let me know as well.